Am I there? Hello? Hello? I don't know if I'm live or not. Is it live? Remember X. Hello! Happy Monday! Hello, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Such an important day. And it's like all rainy here. Well, I hope you guys are well. I hope you are healthy, happy, safe from all drama. So we are still feeling the effects of the full moon and new moon. I lost my moon head for a minute. We are still feeling the effects. And I want to tell you that this is such a good time still. This is such a good time to allow change into your energy. There is so much, and you can feel it out in with the world as the world is starting to emerge from quarantine, and people are venturing out, and some people are being more considerate about their behavior than others. And I don't know how it is in your city, but we're seeing a lot of race car driving in the roads around here that have been empty for so long, and people think now the speed limits were raised to 90, and we're gonna have to relearn to drive. Hi, Kathleen. So good to see you. Oh my goodness, mwah, I miss you. I hope you're not freezing to death. Hi, Miss Robin. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you'll see that there is so much that's going on right now as people are starting to emerge from the cocoon, right? And how do we want to emerge, and how we choose to emerge? Like, that is really up to us. So there's a lot that's going on. Remember, we talked before about so many of our planets are in retrograde right now, and that really affects things. So right now we have the new moon in Gemini, and that is all about oh yeah, it's finally warm up in Canada. So that is really affecting communication. So I don't know about you, but I've been finding that I'm like and I lose my words. Like a word, like I'm gonna say something and it just goes out of my head, and then I have to like rewind myself and be like, what the heck was I just saying? So Gemini affects communication, and so this is a time to be careful with your words, not like, watch what you say, but allow the truth of your feelings to be heard, to allow the truth of your heart to be heard. And so we take a lot of exhaling right now, a lot of exhaling. And so with exhaling, we release, and we find that the shoulders come down and the body relaxes and the organs get cleansed because we expel all the things that we don't need to hold on to. So exhaling becomes really, this is the time, especially this new moon in Gemini, is the time of a great exhalation. And again, as we come out of that cocoon space that we, oh, thank you, Robin. As we come out of that cocoon space, we re-emerge. And if you've been through something scary, or you've been through something stressful, intense and stuff, what's the first thing you do when you get done with that? You're like, right? And so allowing yourself to have that great cosmic exhale right now is really, really important. So Robin, I did want to say we are going to, we won't start tonight, but we will start tomorrow night. And at 7 o'clock Eastern time, we will have a short meditation meeting here, about 15 minutes. I think before we say hello and goodbye, it's probably 20 to 25 minutes. But we'll do a short meditation. I really want to be able to put that out there. I know you guys have been asking for it. I'm sorry it's been delayed. And we'll start putting those out there to have just a 15-minute meditation each evening. And we can, I think maybe a different theme each week, something like that. So I know people have asked for clearing and grounding. People have asked for manifestation, which I think is really appropriately timed as well. And I do also think that they both go together. I think that you need to clear and ground before you can really properly manifest. But the time of the new moon is really a brilliant time to manifest. So I would invite you to think in your mind of what would you like to, as we are transforming and we are, watching the and we are watching people emerge from this cocoon, what kind of new reality do you want to welcome into your space? So we are having, the boys are leaving, and Toby's very upset. So Toby's like, hey, what's going on? Toby the dog is in my drawer. Then, hey, so, okay, so I did post something on my personal page today. I think I posted it here too. That was, here's what the world looked like before the virus. Here's what the world looked like during quarantine. And now here's where we have this opportunity to say, well, what do we want it to look like going forward? And that really is up to us. And we've seen so many people talking about getting back to normal. And it isn't about getting back to anything. It's about going forward into something new and hopefully something better. So as you are starting to emerge from whatever quarantining and cocooning you have been doing, whether that was like literal or actual, invite you to ask yourself, what kind of new normal do I want to create and do I want to move forward into? There isn't a backwards, it's only forwards. So hi, Linda Palmer, how are you? So just inviting that information to come in, because in the time of new moon is the time of manifestation. It's the time to be able to put those prayers and wishes, those desires, those intentions out into the world to say, this is what I want my future to look like for the next 30 days, for the next 28 and a half days. And then really when we come into the time of the full moon is where we can look at how am I doing on manifesting what I have set my intention about, and then what needs to shift, what needs to change. What do I need to let go of? Because sometimes we are so intent on going in this direction that we can't understand that there's a thing, that we're still holding on to over here that we have to let go of in order to go forwards. My friend Brian, who is very, very wise, had pointed that out to me one day. He said, you want to go forward, but you're holding on, to this like this. And if you want to go forward, you have to let go. And so that's really a thing to ask yourself is, if I want to go forward, what do I need to let go of in order to make that happen? So I feel like in my camera, you've got half of a Toby. So I'm going to, and of course now he sat down and turned himself the other way. He's like, forget it, I don't want to be part of this. So I'd rather at least include him than have your little, like one little half of a dog face. All right, so those are some things that were on my mind, that were on my heart, that I wanted to share with you as we go forward. We've been talking with our sons, who you've heard coming and going. We've been talking with them a lot about, what does the future look like for them? So we've got one that graduated college just very recently, like 2 weeks ago. And, what kind of a job? I mean, he's got a degree, and what can he do? And what's he going to do? And what does he want to do? Because now it's time to start looking. And one of the conversations that we've been having is, okay, well, you have this opportunity, and this opportunity. But in each of these opportunities, we need to have the safety conversation in the house as a family of what is that going to mean for the family if you go work here, or if you go work there, or you go work there. So, really creating, what do we want our new normal to look like? And one thing that I understand is, as someone who has a 4-year college degree that I do not use, and I mean, I use part of it. My degree, if you didn't know, and you probably don't, but my degree is international relations, law, and diplomacy. I have a political science major and a history minor, and a certificate in international relations, law, and diplomacy. So I use the diplomacy a lot, but I don't really use any of the rest of it. And that's okay. And so one of the things that I know is that for him, it was important to get a 4-year degree, and whether or not he works in that field, it doesn't matter, because the experience of him following his path led him to other things that are going to help him go forward. So even as we have these multiple opportunities for him, whatever he chooses is going to be the right one, because we don't go forward this way. Okay, we go forward this way. Okay, I don't know if any of you are familiar or fans of the show The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, but toward the end of the show, and it's not a spoiler alert because I think it's ended now, but they talk about how time moves and how we move through time, and how it looks like if you were to write the word Jeremy bear me, that is how time moves. And so if you literally in cursive, if you wrote Jeremy bear me, time goes up and it loops back around, and it loops back around, and it goes around, and that's really the truth, because as we go forward, and I said before, you can't go back. Now you can't go back, but your path can backtrack. Okay, we can't go back and change what was, but we do get opportunities as as our Jeremy Bearimy loops around, we get to go back and we cross that path again. So we may have gone through this thing, and people say, why do I have to keep learning the same lesson every time? Because it is very cylindrical, and you go around at higher, hopefully, you're evolving and you're moving yourself up each time, and but you're coming back around that same place on your path, but you're seeing it from a different perspective, and you're gaining a higher wisdom about it, and you're seeing it in a different way. So while you can't go back to, go backwards, go back how things were, how they used to be, we can go forward, and we may cross that intersection again, but we're going to have a different perspective on it. And I really love that idea, because with that knowledge that we keep looping around in a Jeremy Bearimy way, there is no wrong choice. So wherever you are feeling like you want to emerge from your cocoon and come forward, wherever you choose to go is going to be the right choice, because as you go forward, it's going to be, if it's not straightforward, which it really rarely is, then it's going to loop you back around in the time that you're going to have the opportunity to go where you thought you wanted to go, at the time when you're going to be energetically ready to receive it. You all know that I am also a director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I have been with Mary Kay for 22 years. I love being a director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I love this. Both of these things that I am so blessed to do, they bless my life, they satisfy my heart, they fill my soul in such wonderful ways. I love doing both of my jobs. They make me happy, because both of them allow me to help and nurture other people, specifically women, especially at Mary Kay. And I love my job. I couldn't think of doing anything else. But I came to Mary Kay, and so often in my past 22 years, there were moments where I'd be like, gosh, I wish I would have found Mary Kay 5 years earlier. But the reality is, 5 years earlier, before I found Mary Kay, I would not have been ready to receive that opportunity, and I would have looked at it and be like, that's not for me, and I would have missed out on so much blessing in my life. And so it is with everything that we do. When the time is right, we will come to it, and it will come to us in the right way. So when we get those opportunities and we're not ready, we have to wait for our Jeremy Bearimy to loop back around again, and then we'll be like, oh, there it is. Okay, so don't sit in a place of frustration. Understand that we continue to loop, and we continue to loop, and that the right thing will come to you in exactly the right time if you are staying on the path. So as we continue to move forward, coming out of our cocoons, and we're choosing, what do we want that future to look like for us? And don't worry so much about what we want the future to look like for the country, or for whatever. Okay, please be politically aware, please vote, but we create our own realities. We can't create reality for anybody else. We create our own reality. And from that, we go back to the ripples on the water. When I create my own reality and I'm filled with love and joy, and that ripples out and affects all the people that I get to touch, and it cavitates, and my ripples hit your ripples, and then we make more ripples together, and that's how we change the country, and that's how we change the world. Okay, by raising everyone's vibration, but we have to start with ours, which means we're working from that place of love and gratitude every day for us first, right? Okay, so let's grab some cards. I have our Goddess Power Oracle cards from the amazing Colette Baron Reid. So let me see, big boobs are good for something. You can shuffle your cards right on them. But if you have questions, please feel free to type them into the comment section. I would be so happy to answer them. Hello, Cindy. Okay, say hi to everybody. Please feel free to type if you have a question. I am so happy to do that. And so nice for those of you that were able to join us the other night, a few nights ago, last week, on our Psychic Medium Squares. If you have not subscribed to our, joined our group of Psychic Medium Squares, please feel free to do that, because we have a theme every couple of weeks. We have a different theme where the 14 different psychic mediums that are in there are going to be sharing our thoughts on the theme. So this right now, the theme was meditation, and then we were doing mini readings in some sort of organized chaos last week. Also want to say, if you if you didn't catch the this whole thing right from the beginning, don't worry, because it's here. But also it's on my YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because everything is posted there as well. So, and we'll do that with the meditations as well. So we have, hello, Miss Tracy. Okay, so our goddess today is Saraswati, and her theme is mastery. So let's check out what she's got to say, because I love learning about these goddesses. I think that's just amazing. So she is Mastery is a genuine sense of effortless knowledge. Oh, I love that already. Effortless knowledge after a period of dedicated immersion, quarantine, separation, allowing ourselves to really kind of go within, right? Um, and this Hindu goddess, Saraswati, asks you to enter her domain of art, language, knowledge, music, and poetry, and make this commitment to go the distance. Immerse yourself, body, mind, and spirit in discovering all aspects of what is at hand. Learn and then learn more. Right now, if you adopt the role of apprentice and you are willing to devote your heart and your mind to something, you will become a true master. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love these cards because you know what? Isn't that what we were just talking about? That you can make a wrong move. Just allow what is being poured into you and what you want it to be absorbing and what you've been attracted to through this whole time of the cocooning. We've been talking about that for several weeks, to be able to say, what is it that I am being called to do during this quarantine? What am I supposed to be learning? How am I supposed to be spending this time to be able to move myself forward when the time comes? So Saraswati, Saraswati, I hope I'm saying that right. I probably am not. But what a beautiful message of whatever you have been pulled to learn and to know and to become knowledgeable of is the thing that is going to serve you. And I just love that. Kathleen Innes, my darling. I love tuning into you. I love tuning into your energy. I love tuning into your property with all those amazing, beautiful trees that are calling you to go and walk out among those gorgeous trees and to be part of them. And I feel like there is, and I know you have the cocooning and all of that, but there are so many women that are waiting for you to safely to reopen your retreat space and to be able to welcome them back in a safe way. I want to say that the time is now for you to be able to reopen your heart and reopen your space. And I want to say to you, it's time to get back to work. My love, and I don't know what you've been doing with I can't think of the name, the beautiful goddess whose retreat you do, and I want to say that this is a time for you to reconnect with that, because I feel like you have not been as connected in with your spirit guides and your goddess. Type the name of the retreat in there because that's going to bug me. But this is definitely the time for you to get reconnected. I feel like it's now is the time for you to reconnect and to Nematoma. Thank you, Nematona. That was going to bug me, but I feel like it's the time for you to reopen that and to be able to help nurture people, even if it's online, but to be the leader, because I feel like you have really stepped away from all that during all of this. And I think it's really time for you. I feel like it's time for you to step back and engage and really start connecting with people, even if it's online. But you can use your space and welcome people into that energy because you have so much to give, and it's time to open that door back up again. That's the message I have for you. Mwah. Plus, so much love in my heart for you, my dear friend, and just hoping our paths cross, because Kathleen lives in Northwest Canada and I live in the Southeastern United States. So hoping someday we're going to be able to cross our paths again. So I'm sending you a big giant hug. All right, so let's see what the other cards have to say. These are our oracle cards. Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle cards that we've been working with. Absolutely love these. Kathleen, I'd love to hear from you whenever you're ready of how that resonates or how that manifests itself in your space, because you have just such love and such heart to give, and our world is better because you share your heart with us. So that is, I want to say that. Okay. So so you watched me shuffle. So Dance with Life. Dance with Life, which really just goes right back to the mastery of what you have been called to and what you have been felt pulled towards during this time of the cocooning and this transformation, this metamorphosis, to allow this to to flow over you in your Jeremy Bearimy, where you are really allowing things to just unfold. It's when we hang on to them that we create more drama, we create more strife, we create more struggle. When we let go and we let life happen and we just trust that the universe has our back and we are more able to stay in the flow, we dance with life and we have much more of an ability to manifest our truest heart desires. So allow, this says dance with life, do something that should change your energy. This follow where you are being led, where you're being called, where you're being pulled, where your heart is calling to go. Follow that. And the more that you can stay in the flow of love and gratitude, the more you will be able to create whatever you want in this world. And the more that you will be able to stay in that path of joy and happiness. And remember, there is no wrong move, because we loop and we come back and you will come to the exact right place. I guarantee it. Okay. Next card says Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And we've talked about this before. So this is, again, as we go forward, because now this is the time of going forward. And remember, the new moon in Gemini is all about communication, right? It's all about communication. So anything that doesn't serve you, this is that big exhale. And we're going to do that. A big exhale where you just, okay, I'm like done with this, and we have this big exhale so that we can release all the stuff that no longer serves us. Whatever you are connected to, you can't go back. Okay, I want to clarify this. You can't go back and change it in this life. Okay, I don't have a time machine. I can't go back and I can't say, okay, let me rewind and change that. However, I do want to say that during working in the Akashic records, you can. Okay, so we can't, in the physicality of time and space and now and all of that, in our 3D reality, we can't go back. But in the Akashic records, in a 5D reality, we can go into our Akashic records and we can go back and we can heal the things that are in the past and we can release the things that no longer serve us. We can absolutely cut those ties, cut those cords, release those soul contracts that don't serve us anymore. So for me, I will share that I had done some major work in the Akashic records for myself, because I had a soul contract with someone that was not interested in fulfilling that contract in this life, and being anywhere close to them was toxic for me. And really, it was up to me to say, I cannot complete this contract that we have agreed to in this life. Shh, that's buddy. And so I'm going to put it on the shelf. I'm not turning my back, but I cannot accomplish this in this life because the person that you are in is not willing to accomplish this. And so we're not ready. And so we're just going to put it on the shelf. And after a period of time, to be able to say, you know what, statute of limitations, I declare this contract null and void, and we release it and we wash the hands. And so with that, with the Akashic records, you literally can, through a meditation, which we do, and we walk backwards through into our Akashic records, and we literally can change in our mind the energy around what happened. So for me, one of the things that I healed was a back problem that I had. I had a pain in my lower back from a place where I fell off a horse when I was in my 20s. The horse and I decided to jump. At the last minute, the horse decided to veer off, and we went down, and I wrenched in my back, and it just never healed. And then come to find out that I had been stabbed in that exact same place in another life, and where that pain was in my back really was around the time that this other person came into my life, this toxic person. And so I went through it into my Akashic records and realized, and in looking of where does this person connect with me in past lives, to see that that person had tried to stab me in the back right in that very same spot, and to change the memory of that Akashic record. So instead of being killed on that day, I knew that it was coming, the lunge with that knife, and I was able to duck and turn and flee and escape and live out my life in another way. And the energy that was connected to that changed. And as I came forward back into the present moment, the pain in my back was gone, and it has never bothered me again. So we can go back and fix those things and release the soul contracts and release things that no longer serve us. We can't go back and be like, oh, I wish I hadn't run that red light. Okay, but we can learn from those things and we can change the energy, and that change, because we talk so much about cavitation, right, and the ripples on the water, that changed how the ripples went forward and how it cavitated through my energy as we went forward. So we can be unbound and we can truly release ourselves from all of the things that are holding us back, that we don't even understand are holding us back, because they're connected to past lives, they're connected to soul contracts that we simply cannot fulfill, and they need to be put on the shelf, or they need to be declared null and void. And so if there are things that are holding you back, there are things that you can't understand why they tug at you, you feel that, pulling, and you can't understand why, then exploring into the Akashic Records may be the next step for you, so that we can really figure out what it is that's going on in there, because so much healing can be done in there, where we can really move forward in a very positive and healthy and exciting, happy, joy-filled way. So, okay, so let's grab one more card. And we're, share your voice. Come out of the cave, release persecution and expression. So literally, did we not just talk about that? I love the cards. So this is share your voice. This is the time. This is the time for us to stand up, we're coming out of the cocoons. We're coming out of the transformation. This is the time for us to really stand up and say what we think, and to say what we want to see as we create together this new world going forward. What do we want this new world to look like? And it's so important that we have this opportunity to be able to build our future of our society, of our world together. And we do that with energy. We're not going to create the world that we want by standing on street corners yelling at each other. That's not what's going to shift. But shifting our energy, shifting the energy inside, allowing that to cavitate out to the others that are around us, allowing that to cavitate in, and we create that wave. It's like a wave in the stadiums, right? And so we create that wave where we can really make a humongous shift together by changing our energy. And so releasing those things that no longer serve us makes the perfect thing. This is the perfect timing, because again, new moon in Gemini, all about communication. What am I saying to myself? What am I allowing others, talk am I allowing in my head? What kind of past life chatter, what kind of stuff in my Akashic Records is coming up that needs to be healed or released? This is the time for us to become unbound, right? So we can dance with life and really follow our passion and move in the direction that we want to, as we come out of this transformational time, to really step into the place where we want to be. And I'm telling you, there's going to be so much shifting around as people are going to go back to jobs. They're not going to go back to jobs. They're not going to feel safe at jobs. They're going to want a new job. There's going to be so much shifting around. And I guarantee you, there's also going to be a boom. We saw this after 9/11. In about 6 months, 6 months to a year, we're going to see this burst of small businesses. Small businesses are just going to explode. And we've seen that before when these larger corporations close. So soup plantation, I mean, for me, not a big loss, but I'm trying to think of who else is filing for bankruptcy. And so a lot of these bigger stores are closing locations. We've seen, so many stores are closing locations. I can't even think of a single one of them right now, because we tend to really try and shop small. But so many of these bigger stores are going to close those locations, which is going to open up so much opportunity for small businesses to leap back in there. And that I love, because small business is not only the engine that pushes our economy forward, but small business is the engine that pushes our energy forward, because they're not tied to the toxicity that can be found in so much of corporate America. Not every corporation, I'm not trying to make a blanket statement, but so much of that toxicity is found in corporate America, with the old white guys in the boardroom at the top and all the workers at the bottom. Think Walmart is a perfect example of corporate toxicity. But looking at so many other options, there's an Ace Hardware store that's coming into my neighborhood. We have not had a hardware store in the 16 years I've lived here. We've never had a local hardware store. When we lived in LA, we left our Ace Hardware store because it was the neighborhood hardware store. So we found out that this big chain restaurant went out, and supposedly there's an Ace Hardware store going in there. So we're going to, and I know that's not a little mom and pop thing, but I understand that we're going to be able to see the burst of small businesses coming in to fill the spaces left by these big box stores that we've seen them, where they There was a Kmart that split and became three things. It's like a Ross and a golf store and a something else. So know that there is so much shifting and so much opportunity that can be found as we go forward. Because right now people are all about, oh, I don't have a job and unemployment and all that. And I'm not making light of that. But at the same time, there is so much possibility as those doors close that opens the door for so much else and so many opportunities, because so often those larger corporate stores, they suck all the air out of a neighborhood, and allowing for the creativity of franchises and small business owners and new ideas to come in and revitalize the energy, not just of an area with shopping, but to revitalize the energy of a town. When you go in and you shop in a store where you know the owners, or you know it's a small business, or you know it's a franchise, and those people are rolling up their sleeves and putting their own blood, sweat, and tears into it, the energy exchange is so palpable, rather than going to, a store with 17 checkout lanes where they don't even know who you are, or care. So it's about energy as we move forward. And we've been talking so much about what kind of a future do we want to build as people are coming out of the cocoons. Understand that there is opportunity there. And this goes back to mastery with Saraswati. It goes back to the mastery. I'm never going to remember that. But it goes back to the mastery of what it is that's been calling you, that really stokes your passion. If you've always felt in your heart, I would love to have a store that, or I'd love to be able to do this. This is the time to start putting those things in motion, because we are in the new moon time of manifestation. We're really kind of at the tail end of it, but it's okay. We're still in that energy portal. And this is all about communication. So communicating with your higher, what do you want? What do you want to create? What do you want to receive? What do you want to give out to the universe, to your fellow man, to your community? This is the time. Dance with your life. Release the shit that doesn't serve you, and share your truest voice. Now is absolutely the time. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I am so incredibly honored by your presence, by your willingness to share time with me. If you don't already like and follow my page, please do. If you like and follow my page already, share it with a friend. We hit 600, so the next one, next milestone is 700. I know we can do it by 4th of July. I know we can hit 700 people in our community of light by 4th of July. That is my goal. Also, please follow me on my YouTube channel, because I do stuff over there as well. And then coming soon, starting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have short meditations in the evening. Would love for you to join us. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for spending some time. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. Have a wonderful rest of your Memorial Day week. And I love you.